The stars were quiet when the message came. A lonely signal floated through space. It moved on an old galactic frequency, used only in emergencies. The voice in the message trembled with fear. To any peaceful species, it said, "Please, help us. Our world is under attack. We are unarmed. Your artists, scientists, teachers cannot fight." This signal was meant for the Alteron Federation, a powerful alliance known for diplomacy and peacekeeping. But someone had made a small mistake, a decimal point in a star coordinate. That single error changed everything, instead of the Alteron. The message reached a human listening post near Earth. Captain Han Jae-won stood on the bridge of the UEDS Daeon. He was tall, calm, and known for making hard choices. His ship, along with 23 others, was conducting deep space training drills when the message arrived. "Play it again," said. Lieutenant Kim Sulji replayed the alien voice. The words were shaky but clear. A race called the Vini was being attacked by the Krex Empire, a brutal species known for war and slavery. The Vini were not fighters, but they had no armies. Their homeworld, Vini Prime, was beautiful, peaceful and completely defenseless. Commander Park Ji-woo crossed her arms. "It's not our fight," she said softly. Jae-won nodded. "It wasn't meant for us." "But," said intelligence officer Choi Dae-sung, looking up from his terminal, "they're out of time. The Krex fleet will begin bombing their cities in less than 72 hours. There's no one else close enough to help." Jae-won's jaw tightened. Earth was feared in the galaxy. Other species whispered about Deathworlders, humans who had survived plagues, predators, and wars for thousands of years. Humanity was brutal, yes, but they had something else, a sense of justice. "They sent the message to the wrong species," said Ji-woo. Turned to her. "Maybe, but we're here now." The UEDS Daeon was not alone. 12 heavy cruisers, 8 destroyers, 4 dreadnoughts. Earth's second fleet was close enough to join in 18 hours. J1 made his decision. Plot a course to Vini Prime. Maximum burn. Send alert to all ships, prepare for combat operations. The ship's engines roared. The stars stretched, and the Deathworlders flew. During the journey, Officer Dasung led the intel team. "The Krex rely on numbers," he said during briefing. "Their ships are thick with armor, but use basic energy. Weapons. No advanced shields, no plasma systems. I've never seen railguns or torpedoes." Commander Gi-woo nodded. "We'll strike fast, break their formation, cut their fleet in half and isolate them." J1 listened silently, his eyes fixed on the map of Vini Prime. He saw pictures of the planet green oceans, glowing cities, and tall spires that looked like art more than architecture. He saw no defenses. 16 hours later, the human fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Vini system. What they saw was horrifying. Vini Prime was under siege. Dozens of Krex warships surrounded the planet, launching crude missiles at its orbit. Several orbital libraries and research stations were already burning. There were no defense satellites, no return fire, just flames in space. J1 stood still. "Open a channel to the Krex command ship." The face that appeared on screen was monstrous. A massive reptilian alien with yellow eyes and jagged teeth. "I am War Chief Brokter of the Krex Empire. Leave now, humans, or die with these weaklings." "This is Captain Han Jae-won of the United Earth Defense Command," he said coldly. "You have 60 seconds to stop your attack and leave this." System Brokter laughed. "You have 24 ships. We have 40. Your math is bad, little man. You have 30 seconds, J1 replied. "Cut the signal." The Krex moved first. Their ships surged forward with no order, firing wildly. Missiles and energy blasts raced toward the human fleet. But Earth's ships were built for death. Point defense systems swatted the attacks away like flies. Then came humanity's reply. The first plasma. Torpedoes streaked through space, silent, glowing blue, and deadly. They hit Krex cruisers and melted through their armor like butter. Railguns fired slugs the size of cars at near light speed, each one turning Krex vessels into shrapnel. human ships moved in perfect formation, precision, speed, power. 10 minutes passed. Half the Krek's fleet was gone. The rest tried to run. They never made it. Human destroyers had already moved behind them, cutting off escape. One by one, the Krek ships were disabled, captured, or destroyed. The battle ended in less than 20 minutes. The Vini Council contacted the Daon. On screen appeared Keeper Nari, a tall, graceful being with soft green skin and large silver eyes. She bowed deeply, tears running down her face. We did not mean to send the message to you, she said, but maybe it was meant to be. Thank you. Captain J1 gave a small smile. Some say humans are dangerous. That's true, but only to those who bring war. He paused. Scholars and artists create beauty. Warriors exist so they can keep doing that. The stars were calm again, but something had changed. Vini Prime floated in space like a wounded jewel. Smoke curled up from broken towers. The once glowing orbit was now filled with debris, twisted metal, and drifting Krek's wreckage. But for the first time in days, there was no fear. There was hope. Captain Han J1 stood inside the Vini Orbital Library. What was left of it? The walls were cracked, the glass shattered, and the air smelled of burned circuits. Next to him, Keeper Nari stood silently, her large silver eyes full of tears. This was our center of wisdom, she whispered. 10,000 years of learning, gone. J1 looked at the broken shelves, the burnt books, the data crystals melted by fire. We'll help rebuild, he said quietly. Humans remember how to start again. She turned to him. You came when we didn't even mean to call you. He gave a small smile. You didn't need to. We were already listening. All across Vini Prime, human aid teams went to work. UD's engineers used drones and nanofabricators to rebuild power grids and restore orbital stations. Medics treated the wounded. Soldiers cleared rubble, lifting stones and helping carry the old and young to safety. There were no orders needed. Helping was in their blood. In the captured Krek's prison barge, Commander Park Ji-woo walked the halls of silence. Dozens of enemy soldiers sat behind shields, stunned and defeated. Trials would come. Justice would be given not by anger, but by law. Officer Choi Dae-sung was already broadcasting the truth across the galaxy. Videos of the Vini cities before and after the attack, footage of the space battle, a final image, a Krek's warship exploding behind a human, destroyer shielding a medical shuttle. The message was clear. Humanity does not start wars, but they finish them. In the following days, news spread fast. The Alteron Federation, who had missed the SOS, sent an official apology. Their diplomats arrived with gifts, but their shame was plain. We were too late, said Envoy Thari, but you were perfect. Earth's fleet accepted the apology. Not with anger, but with a handshake. We don't hold grudges, said Ji-woo. Only the line. A week later, the Vini held a ceremony. All survivors gathered in a great open square where a tower once stood. In its place now stood something new, a giant statue of a human soldier, shielding a young Vini child with one arm, holding a rifle in the other. It's not a statue of war, said Keeper Nari. It is a statue of guardianship. Captain Han Jawan stood at the front, unsure what to say. He wasn't a poet. He was a fighter. But he looked at the Vini faces and then to his crew. These people, both human and alien, had shared something that couldn't be forgotten. You feared us, he said. That's fair. Earth is a hard place. We were born with teeth and fire. But what matters is why we fight. We don't protect the weak because it's easy. We do it because it's right. Paused. From now on, your enemies are ours. Now the Vini wept again. But this time, they wept in gratitude. Months passed. The Krek's empire, stunned by the loss, pulled back from 3 systems. Other peaceful species sent messages to Earth, asking for alliances and mutual defense treaties. Some offered trade, others asked for training. Some just wanted to say thank you. The humans replied to every message, in orbit around Vini Prime. The first class of Vini defense cadets began training. They wore soft blue uniforms and used wooden staffs, not guns. Instructors were Earth soldiers, but they taught defense, not attack. They taught unity, not revenge. Officer Daesung called it teaching peace with open eyes. Before the human fleet left, a final message came from Keeper Nari. Many in this galaxy still fear humanity, she said, but we are no longer among them. We know your fire is real, but we also know your kindness. You are not monsters. You are protectors. On the bridge of the UEDS Daeon, Captain Han Jae-won watched the stars shift as the ship prepared to jump. Commander Ji-woo stood beside him. Do you think they'll remember us? She asked. They will, Jae-won said. Not because we destroyed the Krex. He looked out at the quiet void, but because we came when we didn't have to. Then the stars stretched, and the humans vanished into light guardians of a galaxy that had finally begun to understand them.